Right, hello everyone, and welcome to Warren's Team Talk. Thank you very, very much for joining me. And just for once, I'm it on time. Well, sort of on time. I was a few seconds late, but never mind. I'm like British Rail, or the Network Rail, or whatever you want to call them. They're allowed 5 minutes deviance either way before the train is regarded as being late. Work that one out if you can. Anyway, so here I am, and today we're going to be doing the match day live show, and it's back with the Premier League for at last. I have to say I've missed it, to be quite frank, but yeah. So before we get into it, please make sure you put a like on the video for me. Please, please, please do that. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And excuse me, sorry. My eye is really itchy. Anyway, yeah, so thanks very much for doing that for me. Also, if you haven't done so already, please, please, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you share it around and let everyone else know about this hidden gem, which is Warren's Team Talk. Only joking. Yeah, but if you can just share it with at least one other person, that would be absolutely fantastic. And also, if you haven't subscribed to me before, right next door to the subscribe button, there's this little notification bell. If you click on that, what will happen, what that does is it just makes sure that every single time that I upload a video, it will let you know that I've uploaded. Well, that's the theory anyway. And YouTube's been a bit crap with that of late, so hopefully they've sorted that out. But anyway, yeah, so today it's the Premier League is back in town after its little holiday. I don't think it stayed at the Premiering though. Old Skool Gunner, bless him. No, I don't think it stayed in the Premiering. So yeah, but it's back in town. We'll be covering all the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League that are going today. And also trying to keep an eye on all the other 3 o'clock kickoffs up and down the whole of the United Kingdom. So that should be fun. It usually is. It's usually a bit of a good laugh once the usual crew are in and putting their comments in. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with it and let's see what the lineups are, the formations like we usually do, and hopefully let's see what's going to happen. So, but before we get into that, I just want to remind you about these fantastic other YouTube channels. They're all Arsenal themed, Arsenal YouTube channels, obviously because I'm an Arsenal fan. But yeah, so you've got the Old Skool Gunner. He's a true old school Irish gunner, and he's been supporting Arsenal since 1992. He discusses all things Arsenal and brings you insightful Arsenal content. And the fella has just recently got monetized. So fair play to him. That means that he's got over 1,000 subscribers, and I think it means that he's had over people watching these videos for over 1,000 hours. So that's fantastic achievement. Well done, Old Skool. I'm really pleased for you. Really proud of what you've done. Fantastic. There's Arsenal Alex. He brings you all things Arsenal, including instant match reactions. Absolutely top man and real passionate Arsenal fan. He has similar views to the club as myself. So go and show him some love. Then it's drawn by Dre. He's a really young guy, does excellent videos, especially his highly rated and excellent possession-based podcast, the Aussie Gooner. What can I say about this fella? He is an absolute gem. He really is, and he's typical Aussie, and his delivery style is just top notch. I absolutely love it. He's a man after my own heart. He was on Northside London's channel today. That's another great channel. So go and check him out. Go and check that video out because it was wild. And Aussie Gooner was putting forward views that I got from him and that I put in a couple of my videos that I've done recently about the state of Arsenal Football Club. So go and listen to him, because he's of the same opinion that the Cronkies don't want Arsenal to be successful. So go and check it out. It was absolutely superb. Then there's Diesel Arsenal. Diesel is a top man. I love the guy. I'm going to be doing, hopefully, on Tuesday night. I think we've agreed that I'm going on his channel on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock to talk about something. I'm not going to say anything about that, but it may not be about football. That's all I'm going to say. And hopefully that's still going to happen. I'm still working on the video that we're going to do, because I'm going to be presenting it, and it's going to be fantastic. If we're able to do it, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Del Boy Gunner TV is a passionate Irish Arsenal fan, and he discusses all things Arsenal. And last night we had an absolutely wild show. There was me, Kenny Ken, Jez, Del Boy, all talking about the 1998 season, and it was absolutely wild. So go and check that out as well. It went on for nearly 3 hours, and it felt like it was about 5 minutes, to be honest with you. It was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, all the links for these channels are all in the description. So go and check them out and click on the links, and it will take you to their channels. Give them a subscription, put likes on their videos, and share the content around. And I'm telling you, you will not regret it, because they're all fantastic. Anyway, so there has been a game already today in the Premier League. It kicked off at 12:30 and it ended Liverpool 2, Watford 0. Goals from Diego Jota and Fabinho. Fabinho's was a penalty in the 89th minute, and Jota scored in the 22nd minute. The match stats for the game were Liverpool had 73% possession. That's insane. Watford had 27%. Liverpool had 20 shots on goal, but only 3 on target. That's a bit weird. That's not like them. Watford, on the other hand, had 5 shots and 2 on target. Liverpool won 9 corners. Watford won 3. And Liverpool committed 9 fouls and Watford committed 8. So, yeah, that's a fantastic result for Liverpool. And we'll look at the league table in a minute to see how that has impacted the league. So here is the league table after that Liverpool game. Liverpool are now sitting top. They're 2 points clear of Man City, but Man City do have a game in hand, and they've got to play each other at the Etihad. So, in my opinion, it's still up for grabs. It's anyone's title, but I think Liverpool, in my opinion, I've been saying it for weeks, I think they're going to win it. I do. I honestly do think Liverpool are going to edge it. That's probably put the kiss on death, or kiss of death on Liverpool. Bless them. Chelsea is at third. They're on 29, played 28 games. They've got 59 points. They're playing Brentford at home today. Arsenal are playing on Monday away at Crystal Palace. We're sat in fourth. We've got played 28 games on 54 points. We're in the driving seat at the moment for the qualification for the Champions League spot. Tottenham are in fifth. They played 1 game less than us, 1 game more than us, and are 3 points behind. But we have to play them at White Hart Lane. And our recent record at White Hart Lane is dreadful. It really is. And we've also got to play Manchester United at home. We've got to play Manchester City away. So Manchester City. We've got to play West Ham United away as well. So it's all up for grabs still, I think. I don't think it's cut and dried. at all, despite what some of our supporters would have you believe. And then the bottom three, Watford in the bottom three after today. They played games more than Everton, so it's looking really precarious for them. They're 3 points behind Everton now. Burnley are in 19th. They played 3 games less than Watford and are a point behind. And then Norwich, they're playing today away at Brighton. They played 29 games and they've got 17 points. So they need to win today. They really do. So, yeah, that's the league table. Let's go through some of these comments because I've been really naughty and neglected the comments. But anyway, here we go. Craig Malloy's in. Hi, Craig. Nice to see you, mate. He says, hi, Warren. How are you? I'm good, mate. Thank you. I'm really good. I'm looking forward to this afternoon's action. Joanne Smith says, good afternoon, Warren. My lovelies liked and shared. Thank you, Joanne. That's really kind of you. You're an absolute angel. Joanne Smith says, now emptying car. Got the Black Cat's brother now. Fantastic. Excellent. So is that the Wanderer or what's the story? Joanne Smith says, oh, sounds interesting. Yeah, I ain't saying anything more. I don't want anyone making any we able to do it on Tuesday night. It's going to be wild. Craig says, did you hear about the man who was sacked in a watch factory? He was standing around making faces. Fantastic. Oh, here we go. It's going to be rocking and rolling this afternoon. I can see that. That's a classic one, Craig. So, yeah. And let's move on. And Joanne says, now this is the missing Black Cat's brother. Right. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully that little scoundrel will come back soon. So let's move on because we're about 7 minutes away from kickoff. So let's look at the starting 11s and the formations. Today's games, there's Brighton against Norwich, Burnley against Manchester City, Chelsea against Brentford, Leeds against Southampton, and Wolves against Aston Villa. So the starting 11 for Brighton, they've gone with Sanchez, Lamptey, Cucurella, Dunk, Malpai, McAllister, Trossard, Gross, Welbeck, March and Veltman. And their subs bench is Steele, Basuma, Mwepu, Layana, Moder, Azate, Duffy, Ofaya, and Sarmiento. It's a bit interesting that Basuma's only on the bench. I wonder if he's not fully fit. It's a bit weird, that. In my opinion, anyway, a player of that quality, you'd think he'd be the first name on the starting sheet. Anyway, so Norwich, they're going with a 4-4-2, and it's like interesting. I've never seen them playing that formation before. Sort of a diamond formation in the midfield. And they've gone with Krul in goal, and Gianalios left back, Gibson and Hanley, the two centre backs, right back of Byram, and then the midfield, a sort of deep line midfield player, holding role, I guess you'd call it, is Norman, and then two central players of Lees Malloy and Gilmore, and then a more attack-minded position is McLean, and then up front they've gone with Rashika and Pookie. Their subs bench is Gunn, Zimmerman, Dow, Solis, Rowe, Sorensen, Tomkinson, Kamara, and Springett. Right, so let's move on. And yeah, so Brighton are going with a 3-1-4-2, and Norwich are going with a diamond 4-4-2 formation. So that's quite interesting. Next game, Burnley against Man City. Burnley are going with Pope, Roberts, Tarkowski, Long, Taylor, Lennon, Cork, Westwood, Brownhill, McNeil and Weghorst. And Man City are going with Edison, Walker, Laporte, Ake, Cancelo, Rodrigo, De Bruyne, Gundogan, who's the captain, Sterling, Foden and Grealish. And the subs benches are for Burnley is Hennessy, Norris, Loughton, Thomas, Dodson, Stevens, Cornet, Barnes and Rodriguez. And the Man City bench is Stefan, Stones, Jesus, Zinchenko, Bernardo, Fernandinho, Mahrez, Egan, Riley, and Mabete. Jesus Christ, look at that bench. It's ridiculous. Christ, most of those players would get into Arsenal's starting lineup without any shadow of a doubt. Jesus, that's ridiculous. Look at them. Look at the quality of that bench. It's crazy. So Burnley, they're going for a 4-5-1. And Manchester City are going with their usual 4-3-3. And then the Chelsea against Brentford game. Chelsea starting 11 is Mendy, Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Alonso, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Mount, Ziyech, Havertz and Werner. And Brentford starting 11 is Raya, Ayer, Johnson, Pinnock, Henry, Norgard, Janelt, Ericsson, Roerslev, Membueno and Tony. The subs bench is Kepa, James, Christensen, Sarr, Jorginho, Kovacic, Sal, Barkley and Lukaku. And the Brentford bench is Fernandez, Canos, Jensen, Visser, Godos, Zanka, Fosu, Baptiste and Besh. And it looks interesting. And for starting formations, Chelsea are going with a 4-3-3 and Brentford are going with a 4-5-1. And Leeds against Southampton. Now, Leeds are going with Meslier, Ayling, Dallas, Cooper, Lorient, Forshaw, Klish, Harrison, James, Rafinha, Rodrigo. And then their subs bench is Clayson, Kosh, Struick, Cresswell, Phillips, Kenner, Somerville, Greenwood and Gelhart. And Southampton, their starting 11 is Fraser Forster, Tino Livramento, Jan Bednarek, Mohamed Salisu, Cole Walker-Peters, Oriel Romu, James Ward-Prowse is captain, Ibrahim Adalio, Mohamed El Yunusi, Che Adams and Armando Broja. Their subs bench is Caballero, Valerie, Perrault, Stevens, Smallbone, S. Armstrong, Teller, Long and A. Armstrong. So there you go. Lots of Armstrongs for Southampton. And Leeds for starting formation is a 4-2-3-1 and Southampton's is a 4-4-2. And Wolves against Aston Villa, a big Midlands derby there. Wolves' starting 11 is Jose Sarr, Johnny, Willie Bowley. What's a name? That's mad. Connor Cody, Maximilian Kilman, Marshall, Leander Dendonca, João Moutinho, Francisco Trincao, Fabio Silva, and Daniel Podence. And then subs bench is Ruddy, Ain't Nori, Neto, Chiquinho, Semedo, Totti, Huang, Sias, and Kundal. And Villa's starting 11 is Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Mings is captain, Digne, McGinn, Sanson, Ramsey, Bailey, Watkins, and Coutinho. Their subs bench is Olsen, Chambers, A. Young, Douglas Luiz. I think that says Erogue Bunam. I'm not sure because I can't really read it that well. Okin Wambea, I think. Buendia and Traore. And their starting formations are Wolves are going with a 3-4-2-1, and Villa are going with a Christmas tree formation. Villa are going with a Christmas tree formation of a 4-3-2-1. So there you go, guys. Now, some more chats here. We've had that. And there's the old Skool Gunner. He is the man himself. He says, all right, Warren. Yeah, fella, I'm good, man. Thanks very much for coming in. Don't forget, everyone, go and subscribe to this fella if you haven't done so already. The fella has got everything he needs to be monetized, and YouTube is sorting it out for him. So I'm really, really happy for him. Congratulations, mate. It's absolutely fantastic news. I'm really, really proud of you. Well done. And I know how hard you've worked for it, so you deserve it, man. And then Craig Malloy says, Old Skool Gunner, big up. Great show on Northside's channel. Yeah, it was. I watched that as well. Finally got to see it. So it's great. And Delboy Gunner says, hi, Ron, mate. Hello, all you legends in the chat. Yeah, the place is rammed to the rafters, as they say, with legends. I'm going to call it Legends Hall because it is. It's absolutely fantastic. Nice to see you as well, Del Boy. And again, the same goes for Del Boy as what I said for the Old Skool Gunner. If you haven't subscribed to Del Boy's channel, make sure you go and do it. The man is an absolute legend, A1 legend. I was on his channel last night. There was me, him, Jez and Kenny Ken, and we were talking about Arsenal's 1998 season. We were talking for I think it was 2 hours, 45 minutes, and it felt like 5 minutes. It was absolutely wild. It really was. It was an absolutely fantastic show. So, yeah, make sure you go and check it out. And Craig Malloy says, Del Boy Gunner TV, what's the bleeding crack, fella? Big up. And James Dunlop's here. All right, Warren, and all. Hope you're all well. Thanks very much for coming, James. It's lovely to see you, mate. I hope you're good. I hope all your family's well. So, yeah, let's hope that things and the results go Everton's way today. So, let's get this joker off the screen because I really don't want to be looking at his face. It's pissing me off, to be quite honest. Let's put the fixtures up. Is that it? There we go. That's what I was looking for. And Dollboy Gunner says, hi, Craig and James. I'm good, thanks, Warren, says James Dunlop. Right, so let's get into it. Let's get the screen shared. Just bear with me a minute, guys, while I sort this out. Right, so what's going on? It's a bit weird. Normally, there is a live text commentary for all the games, not just one. But never mind. I'm sure we'll cope somehow or other. Anyway, all the games have kicked off, everyone. And as you can see, it's currently goalless in all of the games. And there's some more chat here. James Dunlop says, hi, Del Boy Gunner. And he says, how did Liverpool and Watford finish, by the way? I was out all morning. James, Liverpool won by 2-0. Jota scored in the 22nd minute, and then Fabinho got one right near the end and made from a penalty. I think it went to VAR, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, they won 2-0, which means they're now sat top of the league. Kay Malloy says, James Dunlop, Liverpool won 2-0. And James says, right, okay, Craig. Cheers, Craig. Good job. Watford didn't win. Well, exactly. I know you don't want to see your rivals win, but you staying in the Premier League is more important, I think, at the moment. So, yeah, there we go. And I think there's been a goal, actually. And there has. And no surprise, it's come at Burnley. And no surprises there. It's come at Burnley, and it's... And poor old Burnley. It's Burnley 0, Manchester City 1, and there's another goal. Oh, my God. Here we go. It's all kicking off already. Look at that. The games are only 7 minutes old, and we've had 2 goals already. The first goal was scored by Manchester City at Burnley. It was scored by De Bruyne, and it was assisted by Sterling. And Wolves went 1-0 up against Aston Villa in the 8th minute, and it was scored by Castro Otto in the 7th minute. So let's see how those goals went in. Well, let's try and find out how the goals went in any case. So yeah, here we go. Look, goal, Burnley 0, Manchester City 1. Kevin De Bruyne, Manchester City, took a right-footed shot from the centre of the box to the high centre of the goal, and the goal was assisted by Raheem Sterling. So there we have it. Manchester City take an early lead at Burnley. I'm pretty sure that will not be the last of the goal scoring at Turf Moor this afternoon. And Wolves 1, Aston Villa 0. Let's have a look and see about that goal. And Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Aston Villa 0. Johnny from Wolverhampton Wanderers took a right-footed shot from the centre of the box to the top left corner. following a fast break. So there you go. Wolves are 1-0 up in the big West Midlands derby. So yeah, I'm sure another game. I don't think that's going to be the end of the goals either. I'm sure there's going to be a few more before the end of the afternoon. Well, I certainly hope not anyway. And I'm sure that hopefully there'll be a few more up and down the country before the end of the afternoon. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed anyway. Because the last thing we want is an absolute snore fest, that's for sure. So, oh yeah, look, there it is. They've suddenly decided to add it. So that's good of them. Thank you very much, BBC. And who's that? James McFadden, former Scotland forward on BBC 5 Live, says De Bruyne isn't missing from there. Terrific goal from Manchester City, exactly what we expect. Perfectly weighted pass from Rodri, and Kevin De Bruyne isn't missing from there. It's a bit weird because on there he said that the assist was by Sterling. Didn't say anything about Rodri. And looks like Brentford have nearly scored. Phil McNulty, the BBC chief sport football writer at Stamford Bridge, says Brentford may not get many chances this afternoon, so they must take them when they come. They will hope they do not live to regret Ivan Toney's failure to grasp that big early opportunity. Not sure what Chelsea keeper Edward Mendy was doing, but he did well to make that save from Toney with a second opening. Bright start from the Bees. They are on top. Wow, that's a bit of a shock. Brentford having the better of it at Stamford Bridge by the looks of it at the moment. It's currently Leeds 0, Southampton 0. Welsh international Dan James showing his pace, breaking through the offside trap and forcing a fine save from Fraser Foster low down there. So, yeah, there you go. Rodri probably should have done better with that chance, apparently. Apparently, Man City have nearly scored a second. City's corner is headed back by Aymeric Laporte, and Rodri is free in the middle. He goes for the volley, but skews it wide. Another big chance. City are completely dominant at the moment there. So, yeah, there you go. It's looking like it might be a good afternoon, everyone. So, what are your predictions for this afternoon's games, by the way, everyone? What do you think the scores are going to be? Jake's done up. Top man. He says, thank you, De Bruyne. Get in. Exactly. You must be absolutely rocking and rolling at the moment, James. Warren, you confident or still not convinced you'll get top 4 by the end of the season? I'm not, because we've got left to play. We've got to play Chelsea away. We've got to play Spurs away. We've got to play West Ham away. We got some really hard games. We got some really tough games. We got to play Palace Monday night as well. So no, I'm not really confident at all. Dan Evans says hello. Hi Dan, how are you, mate? I hope you're well. Looks like you parole officers giving you the day off today, mate. I can see on the train back from Wrexham. How did you get on? We don't talk about the result. Laugh at that. Oh, okay. Oh dear. I hope the wheels aren't starting to come off, because you've had a couple of near misses in recent weeks, haven't you? So let's just keep our fingers crossed about that. James Dunlop says hi, Dan, and Dan says I keep losing connection. Laugh out loud. Yeah, well, yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the arse when that happens, isn't it? Del Boy Gunner says, smash that like button, people. Absolutely, smash it, slap it, chew it, nibble it, whatever you want. Just make sure it increases the like total. And if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. I can see there's 10 people watching at the moment. I'm absolutely made up about that. It's fantastic. Thank you, every single one of you. And also thank you to everyone who's watching on playback. I really, really do appreciate it. It's fantastic. Thank you all so much for your support, and I hope you enjoy the show today. That's more important than anything for me, is that you guys go away having enjoyed the afternoon. So, and I honestly mean that. I'm not just saying it. I really do. And Why Not Sentiment FC says, big up, Warren. I hope you're well. Halfway through watching yesterday's stream with Dell. What a cracker on the section about the bag. Shots fired. There, that discussion about the badge was on fire. On fire. Jess was properly going to town. Anyone who hasn't seen that stream, go and check it out, because it was absolutely on fire. It was the whole thing from start to finish. It was an absolutely legendary stream, in my opinion. It really was. Not because I was on it. It wasn't. There's the discussion. I just absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was wild. If Man City win the title and Arsenal do get top four, I can see Arteta becoming manager of the season. Oh, fucking hell. Don't say that, James. But if Liverpool win the title, Klopp will get it. Mate, if Arteta gets manager of the season, there needs to be a steward's inquiry. What has he done to be manager of the season? How is it even possible? He hasn't won anything. And to be honest, if we get top four, I think it's an underperformance. That squad of players that we had, we should have been challenging. And people will laugh at that and say about Granit Xhaka and whatnot. But I'm telling you here and now that if we had a decent manager, we would not have lost away at Brentford. We would not have lost to, with all respect, James, and I think you probably agree with this, we wouldn't have lost to you lot at Goodison Park. We wouldn't have lost against Manchester United. We wouldn't have drawn with Burnley at home. So we would have won all those games, right? So that is another 11 points onto our total, which means we would comfortably be in third and not far behind the top two. I'm sorry, but no. If he gets manager of the season, that would be an absolute joke. And I know you're not going to like me for saying it, James, but I think that Liverpool are going to win the league. They're going to win the Champions League, and I think they've got a good chance in the cup as well. I think the quadruple is on. I really do. I can see it happening. I know it's really unlikely, but I could see it happening. What is the Jackanory? Dell, great show with the gents. Mate, it was, like I said, it was legendary. Absolutely legendary. Del Boy Gunner TV. Hi, Sentiment. What's the bleeding story, fam? James says, I agree, Ron. I think in people's mind, what happened last season, no one gave Arsenal and Arteta a chance this season. And that it's one of the reasons it could happen. I do agree. He's not the man. He ain't the man. He ain't the man. Our attacking play is absolutely horrendous. Defensively, we're no better than last year either. We're on course to concede more goals than what we did last season. So how can all this crap about how he's improved the defence? It's just bullshit. Craig Malloy said Arteta shouldn't have got manager of the month as well. He shouldn't. How can you have inferior records to other managers in the league and get yet given manager of the month? It's madness. It's absolute madness. James Dunlop's, to be honest, Ron, I'm not that bothered that Liverpool win all the trophies. They've won things a lot before and they'll probably do it again. Well, yeah, they will, because they are a properly run bloody football club, not like our two clubs. Both our clubs are an absolute fucking shambles. They are, excuse my language, but they are. So let's go back here. And it's still Brighton 0, Norwich 0, Burnley 0, Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0, Brentford 0, Leeds 0, Southampton 0, and Wolves 0, Aston Villa 0. Sorry, Wolves 1, Aston Villa 0. And Phil Dorks is reporting from Ellen Road this afternoon from BBC Sports, saying, "I'm not quite sure how we got a goal here, how we've not got a goal here yet. Leeds have had 4 or 5 decent opportunities and a couple of useful efforts at goal. Mohamed El Yunusi has had arguably the best of the lot for the away side, but he shot straight at Ilian Meslier. It's end-to-end, noisy, hopefully nervy, and a really good watch." Jesus Christ. Just say it's a really entertaining game. What's all that bullshit about? And Brighton, there's some action at Brighton, and almost the goal of the season from Brighton. Slick one-touch passing in the box, but eventually Danny Welbeck scuffs one wide from 6 yards out. So yeah, it's still Norwich 0, Brighton 0 at the Amex Arena. Wolves are still 1-0 up against Aston Villa, but despite Philippe Coutinho weaving his way into the area, but he's tackled inside the box by Willy Bowley, and Aston Villa have a corner, and it comes to nothing. I have to say, right, that Wolves team, the names of those players in the Wolves team, I'm giving them the Warren's Team Talk Award for the craziest names of the week. Because it's insane. Look at some of the bloody names. It's crazy. Willy Bowley. I mean, Jesus Christ. Honestly, it's mad. And disallowed goal at Ellen Road. Leeds think they have the lead as Jack Harrison smashes it in, but it's ruled out for a push. The chance came after Rafinha hit the post directly from a corner. Wow. Mason Mount hooks a shot over at Chelsea and hits it over the bar. As Chelsea finally shows some attacking intent. There was some concern over Edouard Mendy as he was down holding his knee, but he's up now and seems to be okay. Well, that's good news. We don't want to see players being injured. Leeds midfielder Kevin Phillips gets a generous round of applause from the home faithful as he comes out for a jog down the touchline. So there we go. It's the state of play in this afternoon's matches. And Why Not Sentiment says Arteta gets Manager of the Month awards because of the sycophantic Arsenal losers base. It's not based on merit. It's a fan vote. That's true. It is, isn't it? It is a fan vote. Jesus Christ. Losers voting for a bottle job. How Spursy is that? Yeah, it's fucking insane, isn't it? So it's awarded by the Premier League, is it? I reckon all of us should set up 1,000 accounts each and vote for other managers before the end of the season, because it's ridiculous. He's done nothing to merit it. It's just crazy. I'm sorry, it's not right. It isn't. And James Dunlop says Jamie Carragher made a comment saying Everton are the worst run club in the country, and he's 100% spot on. This week we had yet another loss of 100 million for the third year running. Mate, that's not fucking sustainable, is it? I mean, you can't keep losing money hand over fist like that. At some point, it's going to come to breaking point, and the club are going to be going bust if they don't do something to turn it around soon. That's just ridiculous. And am I right in saying, James, that Jamie Carragher was an Everton fan growing up? Why Not Sentiment says, at Del Boy Gunner TV, all good, brother. Hope you and the boys are grand. Del Boy Gunner says, all good, mate. I'm on my way to Limerick. To buy a dog for the kids. Oh, bless you. Bless you, Del Boy. And I think, I'm not sure, I think there might have been a goal. And yet there's been a goal. And it's come at Turf Moor. And no surprises. It's gone to Manchester City. It's Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. Let's go and check that out. And it's come from Gundogan. He scored it in the 25th minute. So let's go and check that out. Let's see what happened there. So, Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. Ilkay Gundogan took a right-footed shot from the centre of the box to the centre of the goal, and that was assisted by Raheem Sterling. Was it this time, or was it Rodri? Because that's what you said the last time, and it wasn't. Jesus Christ. Look at that. Manchester City have had 80% possession. Man, that's ridiculous. Poor Burnley haven't had a shot on target yet, and they've only had one shot. It's crazy. So, latest scores in the games. 27 minutes gone. It's Brighton 0, Norwich 0, Burnley 0, Manchester City 2, Chelsea 0, Brentford 0, Leeds 0, Southampton 0, Wolves 1, Aston Villa 0. And there's a penalty to Brighton at the MX Arena. And a handball by Sam Bryan, and the referee points to the spot. So let's go down to the Amex Arena and see if we can catch that action. Penalty converted by Sam Bryan. Penalty conceded, by Sam Bryan of Norwich City with a handball in the penalty area. And what's happening is nothing happening. Nothing happening. They're not reporting on it. They'll probably report on it about 3 hours after it actually happens. That's usually how it works. That's weird. And there's a goal at Ellen Road. A goal at Ellen Road. A goal at Ellen Road, and it was scored by Leeds United, by Harrison. They've been threatening it for a few minutes now. It's Leeds United 1, Southampton 0. My mate Andy, who was in the chat last week, will not be happy about that, I'm sure. Poor Andy. If you're watching, mate, I'm sorry, man. And Jack Harrison, Leeds United, took some right-footed shot from the centre of the box to the bottom right-hand corner. And there's been a massive incident at the Amex Arena. Let's go back and see what's happened there. Let's go back and check that out, because I think there's been some drama. Yep, there's a missed penalty, a bad penalty by Neil Maupay, the Arsenal's favourite Brighton striker. He had a right-footed shot, was too high, and Neil Maupay should be disappointed. There you go. And Kenny McLean, Norwich City, he wins a free kick in the defensive half, and then a foul by Tariq Lamptey of Brighton and Hove Albion. So, yeah, Norwich survive that massive scare. It remains Brighton 0, Norwich City 0. In the other games, it's Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. It's Chelsea 0, Brentford 0. Leeds United 1, Southampton 0. And Wolves 1, Aston Villa 0. So, there we go. We haven't been short of drama today, that's for sure. And, wow, the chat box is hopping. Why not sentiment, says Gundog or Beagle. Yeah, what sort of dog are you going for, Del Boy? And James Dunlop, he was Warren, correct. So was Michael Owen and Robbie Fowler. I didn't know that Michael Owen and Robbie Fowler were Evertonians. I was pretty sure that Carragher was. 2-0 City, says why not sentiment. James Dunlop, 2-0 City, game over, I'd say. Yeah, definitely. I think it's just a matter of now of how many they score. And to be honest, I think it was game over when they scored the first one. James Dunlop says, and Brighton have a penalty. James, you're more bloody reliable than the BBC website. It's fantastic. You should have your own website, mate. The James Dunlop sports website. It'd be wild. And I could use that for this show rather than these jokers. And why not sentiment, says job done. Exactly. Why not sentiment also says game set. And match. Yeah, exactly. Game set, match. Match done. Yeah. Once City go 2 in front, that's it. And most clubs, even when they go 1-0 up, it's job done. You can't really see them losing. Certainly not against Burnley. No disrespect to Burnley, but you just can't. It'd be an absolutely ridiculous situation. So, and Martin Keown, oh God, what's he saying? Martin Keown, says it's volleyball that Sam Bryan is playing there. It's absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, similar to your comments about Arsenal, mate, to be honest. that penalty from Neil Maupay is still travelling. He said it's so far over. There you go. So let's quickly go and have a look and see what else is going on up and down the country and some of the other scores. 35 minutes gone in most of the games. It's Hibernian 0, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 2, St Mirren 1, Ross County 1, Hearts 0, and St Johnstone 1, Livingston 0. Barnsley in the Championship, it's Barnsley 1, Reading 0, Bournemouth 0, Bristol City 1, that's a bit of a shock, Cardiff 0, Swansea City 1, Coventry City 1, Blackburn Rovers 0, Derby 0, Preston North End 0, Luton Town 0, Millwall 1, Peterborough United 0, Middlesbrough 1. Let's have a look and see who got that goal. I wonder if it was Balogun. No, it's Tavernier. Is he playing now? See if Balogun's got a start today. Yeah, he started up front for the Middlesbrough, so fair play to him. Stoke City 0, Sheffield United 0. Let's have a look, see who started for Stoke City. See with Kevin Campbell's son is playing, and Ian Wright's grandson is playing. Wright Phillips there. It doesn't look like Kevin Campbell's grandson is. He's not even on the subs bench. He must be injured. Because he was getting regular starts earlier in the season. So in League One, Accrington Stanley 0, Cheltenham 1. Charlton Athletic 0, Lincoln City 1. Crewe 0, Fleetwood Town 1. Ipswich 0, Cambridge United 0. Milton Keynes Dons 1, Shrewsbury Town 0. Morecambe 0, Burton Albion 0. Plymouth Argyle 0, Oxford United 0. Sheffield Wednesday 1, AFC Wimbledon 1. Sunderland 0, Gillingham 0. And Wycombe Wanderers 1, Doncaster Rovers 0. League 2, it's Barrow 1, Port Vale 0. Bristol Rovers 0, Bradford City 0. Forest Green Rovers 0, Scunthorpe United 0. Harrogate Town 1, Colchester United 1. Hartlepool 0, Salford City 2. Mansfield Town 1, Northampton Town 0. Newport County 0, Exeter 0. Rochdale 0, Swindon Town 0. Stevenage 0, Oldham Athletic 1. Tranmere Rovers 1, Carlisle United 0. And Walsall 0, Leyton Orient 2. And see, let's pick out some big scores from the National League. Barnet 1, Yeovil Town 1. That's big news in non-league football. Southend United 0, Notts County 1. Both ex-Football League clubs trying to get back to former glories. Aldershot Town, another ex-Football League club. They're losing 1-0 at home to Eastleigh. Chesterfield losing at home to Grimsby by 2-1. Both of those clubs are also ex-Football League. Halifax Town 0, Wealdstone 0. Halifax, they used to be a Football League club. They used to play at a ground called the Shay, and I remember going to see him on a Tuesday night in, I think it was December. It was freezing. See him play at Dartford against Maidstone United. and their supporters are called the Shaman because their ground's called the Shay, and it was about 2 degrees or something, and they're all standing there with their tops off and jumping up and down and waving their shirts above their heads. They lost the game 2-0. It was actually a shit game. It really was. The nutters. Absolute nutters. No disrespect to any Halifax fans watching, but they were. Yeah, so I think that's about it. So let's get back to these Premier League games. I'm sure there's been a few goals going already while we've been gone. And yeah, there's another goal. What did I say? And it's Wolves 2, Aston Villa 0 now. And the second goal of the afternoon for Wolves has gone to Young. It was an own goal in the 36th minute. So let's see what happened there. Own goal by Ashley Young of Aston Villa for Wolves, making it Wolves 2, Aston Villa 0 in the big West Midlands derby. And John McGinn has gone into the referee's book. So he deserves to see your book, son. Yep, he deserves one of those. John McGinn. He's not scared of mixing it, is he, old John McGinn? So there you go. So as the Premier League table currently stands, Man City have gone above Liverpool. They're back on top after Liverpool won earlier today. They're a point ahead, and both teams having played 30 games. Wolves are up to 7th now in the Premier League. They're a point ahead of West Ham, but West Ham have a game in hand on them. Newcastle have slipped down a place at the moment, and Leeds are up to 14th, with Leeds winning 1-0 at home to Southampton. So let's crack on. Right, hold on. I'm trying to find where I was. And James Dunlop says Leeds 1-0 up now. Yep. James Dunlop also says maybe we should all replace Soccer Saturday panel and work with Stelling. Laugh out loud. No joke, right? James, this is deadly serious. That was my idea for this show. I wanted it to sort of replicate what Soccer Saturday do. I want to be able to have like a load of fellas all on the stream watching different games on the Saturday afternoon. And then we're all sitting there watching the game and say, I'm going to you, James, and you're watching the Wolves Villa game. And then someone else is watching the Burnley Man City game while you're talking about the Wolves game. Say Del Boy's watching the Man City Burnley game and he Burnley score and he goes, go! And I go, right, that's it. We're going to Del Boy. What's happening, Del Boy? It would be absolutely fucking wild. We would smash it. Smash it. It would be absolutely superb. I love the fireworks when a goal is scored. Mate, those fireworks, I created that. That's something else I created in PowerPoint. It's mad. And then I used, what was it I used? I used Zoom to make the movie. And then it's just like little movie clips. I've got one for a booking. I've got one for a sending off. I've got one for a goal. I'm thinking about maybe adding some more as well, just to spice it up a bit. But thank you, Del Boy. James Dunlop says, forgot to mention, Ron, did you watch the World Cup draw yesterday? Why on God's earth was Jermaine Jenas hosting the bloody thing? This is what I don't understand either. How the hell did he get to host it? And I'm sure that everyone else around the world sitting there thinking, who the fucking hell's this clown? What has he ever done on the world stage in football? What has he done? It's not like he's on the level of Ronaldo or Messi or Maradona or Pele or fucking Matthias Sammer or anyone else for that matter. All these like absolute legends of the game. He wasn't even a legend in this country, let alone on the world stage. It's embarrassing. It really is. Whoever, and they must have been desperate to get someone. That's all I could say. I would have preferred to see me or you up there, James, doing it, to be quite honest with you, mate. Del Boy Gunner TV. I didn't see it, but Jesus Christ. Was Jenas on it? Yeah, he was. He was. And there were a few other jokers as well that no one else in the world would know of. It was just ridiculous. Or maybe it's because no one else would go there and do it. And that fucking country's bloody track record, the way it carries on with its business, I don't blame them. But yeah, I don't really want to get into that. Why not Sentiment FC says, laugh out loud, Malpai couldn't take advantage of a free hit. He would fit nicely in the Arteta loser base. Mate, he would, wouldn't he? He likes giving out free hits, especially to opposition goalkeepers. Well, that's about it, man. So, let's have a look and see what's going on here. Right, so it's half time in the Premier League games. Well, all but one, all but two. Half time, it's Brighton 0, Norwich City 0. It's Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. It's Chelsea 0, Brentford 0. It's Leeds 1, Southampton 0. And it's Wolves 2, Aston Villa 0. And it's saying here on the BBC website that Brentford will welcome the whistle as Chelsea had finally woken up after a very, very slow start. Look at this. This makes me laugh. The BBC website have put this comment up and it says, meanwhile, here's reaction from Liverpool's win over Watford at lunchtime. And then there's nothing. That just sums this bloody website up. So where's this reaction then? There's nothing there. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe that is the reaction. Fucking shocking. Absolutely shocking. Right, everyone. What about if you all tell me what you think is going to happen in the game on Monday night between Palace and Arsenal? What do you think the score's going to be? James Donop says he was Del Boy. He hardly played an international game. That's right. That's what I don't understand. I mean, surely they could have got someone else to do it. You think about all the massive legends there's been in international football, and then you get that clown. It's ridiculous. I'm surprised they didn't have Mikel Arteta doing it. Wolves are 2-0 up. Ashley Young on goal, says James Dunlop. Joanne Smith says, cat's out behind TV. He's not as lively as the other. Is that the Wanderer? Has he come back? And Joanne, Del Boy's going on his way to go and get a dog for his kids. I just think it's fantastic. James Dunlop, laugh out loud, Warren. That would be brilliant. It would, mate. It would be wild. Tim Cahill was on the stage. Well, he'd done a lot more than Jermaine Jenas and Cafu. What a player he was. Yeah, exactly. I mean, probably, arguably, you could probably say that Tim Cahill was Australia's most famous player. But having said that, you'd probably say that there was that guy who used to play for Liverpool and Leeds would have something to say about it as well. But yeah, at least those two have got some pedigree at international football. But Jermaine Jenas, nah. I mean, at the end of the day as well, he played for Spurs, so he ain't going to have much opportunity to have any sort of calibre or anything. James Dunlop says, no real shock results, I'd say, in the Premier League so far. James Dunlop, 2-1 Arsenal, I'm going for. Palace will give you a game, but you guys will just edge it. Yeah, I hope so, man. I really do. But I think Patrick Vieira's turning into a bit of a wily old fox. So I think it's going to be difficult. Joanne Smith says, oh, woof, woof, what's he going to call it? I don't know, actually. I don't know. Yeah, Del Boy, what are you going to call this dog? Oh, God, what's the name of that guy? I'm thinking of a name for your dog for you, Del Boy. And Joanne says, the cat I got at the moment is the brother to the missing one. My friend had 2 cats, couldn't go with the black one. That's why I had it, but it got out, as you know. Yeah, I heard about that. Why couldn't they cope with it? Is he a bit of a handful, this chap? Oh, I've got the name for it. I've got the name for you, Del Boy. You should call that dog Jerlochnan. Jerlochnan, you know, the fella from the GAA with the bald head. Call it Jerlochnan. Joanne Smith says, couldn't call it Gunner. No, well, you could do. But I think it'd be funnier to call it Jerlochnan. Del Boy knows who that is. Should anyone who doesn't know what I'm going on about, do a search on YouTube for Connor. What's his name? Connor. Can't remember his name now, but he does these impressions, and he does impressions of all these Irish GAA stars, the Gaelic games, And honestly, they are absolutely hilarious, especially the one with Jer Loughnane. I think Connor Moore is absolutely superb. Right, so let's have a look. Let's see. Right, it's 4 minutes to go before the second half starts. I'm going to have a look at the scores in the Scottish Premiership and the Championship at half time. So here we go. In the Scottish Premiership, it's Dundee 0, Aberdeen 1, Hibernian 1, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 3, St Mirren 2, Ross County 1, Hearts 1, and finally St Johnstone 1, Livingston 0. So that game at Motherwell looks like it's a bit of a corker. And I should put that on. It makes it a bit more interesting, doesn't it? Yeah, that's better. And then in the Championship, it's Barnsley 1, Reading 0. Morris giving Barnsley an early lead there against Reading. It's Bournemouth 1, Bristol City 1. Solanke scored in the 40th minute for Bournemouth after Bristol City had taken the lead through Atkinson in the 4th minute. It's Cardiff City 0, Swansea City 1. Obafemi scored in the 6th minute for Swansea City to give Swansea a 1-0 lead in the big Welsh derby. Now, I've heard stories about this game. I really want one day to be able to go because I've heard that it's a really intense derby. And one of my mates told me once that he saw this game. Literally, there were more police at the game than there were supporters. And the reason they had that many police was it was the only way that they could keep the fans apart because they absolutely hate each other with a passion. So, yeah, Swansea winning the big Welsh derby, Cardiff City 0, Swansea City 1. So Aaron Ramsey will not be happy about that. He's a massive Cardiff City fan. Cardiff City 1, Blackburn Rovers 0. Pickering gave Coventry the lead in the 8th minute. An own goal there for Coventry, scored by Blackburn Rovers' Pickering. It's Derby County 0, Preston North End 0. Preston's Lindsay got sent off in the 32nd minute. It's Luton Town 1, Millwall 1. Millwall took the lead in the 25th minute, and Adebayo equalised for Luton in the 33rd minute. Many years ago, those two clubs played each other. I think it was in an FA Cup match, and it sparked some of the worst violence I think I've ever seen at a football match. The Millwall fans just went on a massive rampage. They had the whole of the away end. They stormed the pitch. They were in the seating. They ripped up loads of seats. They went ballistic. And it led to the introduction of like a fan ID card system in the UK. It was absolutely horrendous. And it also led to Luton Town banning away supporters. I don't know whether that ban is still in place, but for a long time, Luton Town didn't let visiting fans go to their games. Yes, but anyway, moving on. Peterborough United 0, Middlesbrough 1. Tavernier gave Middlesbrough the lead there in the 26th minute. It's Queen's Park Rangers 0, Fulham 1. Mitrovic gave Fulham the lead there at Loftus Road. It's another ground I've been to many years ago. I went there to see Arsenal. I can't remember what the score was. I think QPR might have. I seem to think that QPR won the game 1-0. But what I remember about the game was that we were obviously, all the Arsenal fans were in the away end, and it was jammed packed in there. And then when we went to go out at the end, it got really, really scary because there was a lot of, it just, the exit wasn't handled at all well at all. Lots of people were getting crushed, and it was around the time of the Hillsborough disaster as well. And I've said to a few people, and I think I've mentioned it on some of my streams as well, that there were a few near misses of games that I was at before that Hillsborough disaster. So it was an accident, in my opinion. It was an accident that was inevitably going to happen just because of the way that games were being policed, the way that fans were like just rammed into grounds at the time without any thought about safety or whatnot. It was horrific. It really was. And those poor people should never have had to endure what they endured. And in my opinion, I believed it then, and I still believe it now. They were fucking murdered. Those people were murdered by the police, no question. And those people deserve justice. They really do. And if it was an upper class sport, one, it would have never have happened, and two, if it did happen, justice would have been served long ago. There you go. Stoke City 0, Sheffield United 0. So on that note, I'm going to go back to the Premier League games because I think they're just about to, well, they should have kicked off by now. Yet the Leeds game has kicked off, and the first minute of the second half there at Ellen Road, it's Leeds United 1, Southampton 0. So let's go back to the chat and see what's going on. And here he is. Here he is. He's come up to see me. You can't see me, haven't you? It's Tony Blackwell. Good afternoon, Warren. Hi, Tony. How are you, mate? And Tony says, good afternoon, James. And Tony says, afternoon, Joanne. Hi, Tony. I hope you're well, mate. James says, afternoon, Tony. Tony's come up and see us. Sorry about that. That's my Nan Taylor impression there. A big, absolutely awful impression, I have to say as well. James says, afternoon, Tony. I've come out to see you. Oh, mate. Are you at work, Tony? So the second half starts in all these games. It's Brighton 0, Norwich City 0. Norwich survived a penalty scare at Brighton. Brighton missed the penalty they got awarded. Burnley 0. Manchester City 2. Goals there from De Bruyne and Gundogan. And Chelsea 0, Brentford 0. It's Leeds 1, Southampton 0. Jack Harrison gave Leeds a lead on the 29th minute. And then it's Wolves 2, Aston Villa 0. Castro Otto and Ashley Young giving Wolves a 2-0 lead there. Don't forget, 5:30 tonight, Manchester United are taking on Leicester City in the Premier League. Right. So there we go. And it's been a goal. There we go. There's been a goal. And especially if that's a special one just for you, Tony. I'm sure you probably missed that. It's Leeds United 1, Southampton 1. And it's been scored by James Ward-Prowse. He scored it in the 49th minute at Ellen Road. Let's see how he got that goal. James Ward-Prowse, Southampton, scores from a free kick with a right-footed shot to the top left corner. Sounds like he scored an absolute peach of a free kick there. Fair play to him. So James Ward-Prowse equalises for Southampton, and it's Leeds 1, Southampton 1. So as it stands, it's currently Brighton 0, Norwich City 0, Burnley 0, Manchester City 2, Chelsea 1, Brentford 0, Leeds 1, Southampton 1, Wolves 2, Aston Villa 0. So there you go. There you go. That's how it is at the moment in the games. Hold on just a second. I'm just going to do something with my phone. I won't be a sec. Just give me 2 seconds, everyone. Oh, sorry. Right. So, yeah, that's all sorted out. My phone's all in order now, so that's good. And there's been a couple of goals at Stamford Bridge. Let's go and let's do what we need to do for that. Right, so there we go. It's at Stamford Bridge. there's been a bit of a dramatic start to the second half. It's Chelsea 1, Brentford 1. Chelsea took the lead through Rudiger in the 48th minute. The goal was assisted by Kante, and then Brentford quickly equalised 2 minutes later through Janelt, and that goal was assisted by Embremo. So let's go and find out about those goals. Okay, so the first one, Antonio Rudiger. Chelsea had a right-footed shot from more than 35 yards to the top left corner, and it was assisted by N'Golo Kante. Jeez, that sounds some goal. 35 yards, wow. And then Vitali Janelt of Brentford hit a left-footed shot from the centre of the box to the top left corner, and that was assisted by Brian Embremo. So there you go. Massive drama there at Stamford Bridge, and excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. So that's what we want. We want plenty of drama. That's what I like to see. It all makes this show more exciting when it's action like that kicking off. And Dan Evans said, managed to get some connection. Good man, mate. I hope you're all right. I hope you're enjoying your trip home. What was it you were? Because I had a look earlier and I couldn't see it listed on the league games. Was it a cup game? Was it the trophy or something like that? Why were you in Wrexham? I just assumed that you were going to watch Stockport County play against Wrexham, because you said don't talk about the result, but I couldn't see the game. Anyway, Tony Blackwell says, I was earlier, mate, had to help cover as they don't have enough bodies to cope with the shift. It's busy today. Oh, dear. New job going well, James. Yeah, how is the new job going, James? I hope it's going well, mate. I've missed those Warren. Good to see it again. Yeah, mate. I'm always going to have it, mate. I ain't taking it out. I love those fireworks. James says it's going well. Thanks, Tony. It's at a primary school and it's a catering cleaner assistant role. Go, good man, James. Ward-Prowse for me is underrated. I really like him as a player. Yeah, absolutely, mate. You're spot on, James. You really are, as usual, mate. You're an absolute legend in my book, James. You really are. Tony Blackwell, good to hear, James. I thought I was getting away from weekend jobs. Turns out being a trainer doesn't have its perks. Laughed out loud. Oh, dear. So you work as a trainer, Tony. I used to be a trainer years ago as well. I used to quite enjoy it, but I never ever had to work weekends, though, I have to say. James Dunlop says, bloody hell, Chelsea's lead didn't last long. It's 1-1. Exactly, mate. It's a bit of a shocker. Dan Evans says, trophy semi-final. So you miss out on a trip to Wembley. James Dunlop, what? Let's go and check that out. Looks like Brentford might have gone 2-1 up. Possibility of some drama there, people. Yep, it is. And that means it's time for this. And it's Chelsea 1, Brentford 2, and Christian Eriksen has scored in the 54th minute. Fair play to the lad. And couldn't have done it against a nicer club. Goal, Chelsea 1, Brentford 2, Christian Eriksen, Brentford, left-footed shot from the centre of the box to the high centre of the goal, assisted by Brian Mbeumo following a fast break. So there you go. Brentford in the lead in the big West London derby. It's Chelsea 1, Brentford 2. So there you go. And all the other games is Brighton 0, Norwich City 0. It's Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. Chelsea 1, Brentford 2. We just heard about that one. And it's Leeds 1, Southampton 1. And it's Wolves 2, Aston Villa 0. So, there we go. And there's a penalty appeal at Turf Moor. Let's see what's happening there. Let's get up to Turf Moor and see what's going on. Burnley fans want a penalty, but they haven't got one despite a VAR check. It was a long ball which wasn't dealt with by City, and Emerick Laporte and James Tarkowski came together in the box. What a surprise. I wonder if Tarkowski was throwing a few elbows around. And James McFadden, former Scotland forward on BBC Radio 5 Live, says the Burnley crowd are getting anxious. Burnley have to try and get some passes together. The crowd are getting anxious. They want things done a bit quicker. And Tony says, go on the Brentford. Exactly, Mike. My faults entirely. And Static says, hey, Warren. Hi, Static. And there's been a goal. Oh, my God. And Brentford are running riot. Literally. They're running riot, and here we go. Let's check on what's going on. It's Chelsea 1, Brentford 3, and it's another goal for Janelt, and that one was assisted by Ivan Toney, and that was scored in the 60th minute. And Janelt took a left-footed shot from a difficult angle on the left to put Brentford 3-1 up at Stamford Bridge. My goodness. Dear, oh dear. What an absolute shocker that is. You wouldn't have predicted that, would you? Who saw that coming? Because I didn't. I thought it was going to be a very comfortable afternoon for Chelsea, but it hasn't. Burnley take a quick free kick, and City switch off completely, and Wout Weghorst nods it on to Maxwell Cornet. He tries to poke it over the line, improvises with a header, but Nathan Ake slides in to block it off the line. But the flag is up for offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. So there you go. And 58 minutes gone, people. It's Brighton 0, Norwich 0, Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. And rather surprisingly, it's Chelsea 1, Brentford 3 in the big West London derby. And then up to Yorkshire at Ellen Road, it's Leeds 1, Southampton 1. And it's Wolves 2, Aston Villa 0. So, and Tony Blackwell says, hey, Static. Lovely to see you, by the way, Static. Thank you very much for coming into the chat, man. And James Dunlop says, hi, Static. I hope you're well. Joanne Smith says, I'm sticking pictures myself on my fridge and freezer of my fat face. Laugh out loud to remind me not to pick out too much. Got one on my exercise bike. Laughing emoji. Joe, you need to stop talking about yourself like that. I'm serious. Don't do it. Putting pictures of yourself on the fridge is a good one. It really is. But another good one is I learned years ago, and it really helped me, is to, when you make yourself a meal, eat it off a smaller plate because it makes it look like you're eating more food, and it does work. Believe me, it really does. But don't say those things about yourself because you don't be horrible about yourself, because there's plenty of people in this world who are more than willing to have a pop at us for nothing. So don't. You're a lovely woman, and it's a pleasure to know you. And don't say those things, please, because you're not. No. Don't be horrible about yourself. Static says, at Tony Blackwell. James Dunlop, hey boys, I hope you're all well. Craig Malloy says, hey Static, hey bro. Static says, Joanne Smith, hey Joanne, it's been a while, I hope you're well. And James Dunlop says, hey, good, thanks, Static. And Tony Blackwell, yeah, I've been in the new job just over a month on, usually Monday, Friday, 9 to 5. I'm teaching everyone landslide of the airport. Sad serious, mate. I'm good, Static. I hope you're well. Hey, Craig Malloy, good to see you. Craig Malloy, hey, great question. Why do you use cap locks now? Everyone can see your comment, but hey, fair enough. Static, he just likes doing it, mate. I think it's funny. Dan Evans, this connection is shocking. It's like Arsenal's defence, mate. Tony says, you're fine, Joanne, unless you have the same willpower as me. Laugh out loud. Static, apart from that, I'm good. Hey. We can see your comments, Dan, says Tony Blackwell. Craig Malloy, I just prefer it that way. See, I told you. And fair play to him. I love it, Craig. James and Tony, I'm good, boys. The weekend is here. Yay, laugh out loud. Exactly. Enjoy the weekend, my friend. James Dunlop, what a story with Ericsson. Scored a couple of goals on his return to the national team with Denmark, and he gets a goal today against Chelsea. Brilliant comeback story. Exactly. It's fantastic. I love it. Craig says, Tony Blackwell, big up. Totally agree, James. I must admit, I thought it would be finished after the operation. Me too. I didn't think that we'd ever see him again on a football pitch. I really didn't. But fair play to him. What the hell is happening at Chelsea, says Tony Blackwell. Surely there hasn't been another goal, surely. No, there hasn't. And Static says, Craig Malloy, okay, I'm just letting you know that I can see your comments with cap locks. Off or on, as long as you mention my name, fair enough. James Donald, bloody hell, Chelsea are all over the place. Yeah, there you go. They're not. Just wonder when these new owners get in place, whether Tommy Tickle is going to be able to hold on to his job. Brentford, well, there goes my prediction of Chelsea winning, says Static. Yeah, and mine. Same here, Tony. We saw what happened with Mayumba 10 years ago, and he had to retire. I felt the same with Ericsson as well. And my feelings were the same, James, but it's really good to see it turning the way it did. Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. James, since we chatted on Diesel's channel, do you still feel the same way about Everton tomorrow? Warren, Static says, Warren, thank you for Yeah, sorry about that, guys. The internet failed there for a minute. It's shocking. And it's not cheap either. That's the thing. That's the annoying thing about it. Anyway, James says, I'm still not confident tomorrow, Tony. I'd be pleased with a draw, but on Wednesday we have Burnley away that day, and it's a must-win. Yeah, that game is absolutely massive. It really is, because if you win it, you could really put down a marker for the rest of the season. You really could. And I'll be hoping and praying that you do, mate, because one, I don't particularly like Burnley. I had some issues there years ago, but they were good to me when I first started my channel. I sent them a video I did about their club, and they were really, really helpful. So fair play to them. So with me, it's a bit like that with them. I don't like the style of football they play, but I want Everton to stay in the league. Everton, as you know, James, when I did my England's most successful club, Everton are England's fifth most successful football club. They are. and they've got massive history. Anyone who doesn't know about Everton Football Club, go and read their history. Read about Dixie Dean. Read about how they started. They're Liverpool's premier club. They started in Liverpool before Liverpool did. In fact, that I think I'm right in saying that they played at Anfield before Liverpool did, and they ended up getting evicted because of rent issues or something. I seem to remember that. And there was an issue with the owner at the time as well, I think. So, 100 and odd so years down the trot, nothing's really changed, is it? You're still having issues with the owner. But yeah, Everton, no, man, that shouldn't be happening. It's just fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. And Joanne says, yes, I've heard that, a smaller play. It works, honestly, Joanne. Try it. Joanne says, okay, thanks, Warren. Tony Blackwell says, I hear that, James. Hopefully Everton will reach a turning point. That's it. And if they do win tomorrow and on Wednesday, you could really turn a massive corner and push on for safety. Joanne Smith, static, I'm good, thanks. Just sorting myself out. Need to live with Kenny Ken. Laugh out loud. He'd get me fit and healthy. He certainly would. James Donlop says, I hope so too, Tony, but we'll see. And Warren says, it looks like there are some connections issues. There certainly was. No changes to the score at the moment, Warren, just to let you know. Thank you, James. Very kind. Ronaldo is not in the United team tonight due to illness. Wow. Right. So let's go back and see what is going on. So in the Premier League currently, it's Brighton 0, Norwich City 0. 71 minutes gone there. It's Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. 72 minutes gone there. Chelsea 1, Brentford 3. 74 minutes gone at Stamford Bridge. It's Leeds 1, Southampton 1. 76 minutes gone there. And it's Wolves 2, Aston Villa 0. 71 minutes gone there. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to get the teams up for the Manchester United Leicester game. So let me go and do that. That's right. So Manchester United. Okay. So right, I'm just going to share the screen so that you can see this. So there you go. There's the United team for the game against Leicester. The team is De Gea, Maguire, captain, Pogba, Fred, Bruno, Varane, Dalot, Shaw, Sancho, Elanga, and McTominay. And then on the bench, they've gone with Henderson, Telles, Jones, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Mata, Matic, Lingard, and Rashford. And see if the Leicester team's there. Right, let me just search for the Leicester team. And here we go. This is the Leicester team. And they're going with Schmeichel in goal, a back four of Castagne, Forner, Evans, and Fofana, and Justin, and then a midfield five. What's happened to the team? Oh, here we go. Then they've gone with Tielemans, Mendy, Dewsbury Hall, Maddison, and Barnes, and then Iheanacho up front. But interestingly, they haven't told us who's on the bench. So there you go. Let's get rid of that. And let's get the other screen back up. Right, okay. So in the Premier League, 75 minutes gone, more or less. In all the games, it's Brighton 0, Norwich 0, Burnley 0, Manchester City 2, Chelsea 1, Brentford 3, Leeds 1, Southampton 1, and Wolves 2, Aston Villa 0. So not much longer left to go in this afternoon's games. And I'm just wondering if there's going to be any drama like there usually is at the end of these games. There's been a couple of substitutions. Burnley have made a substitution. Sorry, not Burnley. Manchester City have made a substitution. Kevin De Bruyne has gone off. And the bad news, though, is that for Burnley is Bernardo Silva is his replacement. And then Wolves 2, Aston Villa 0. Villa make their final change as Emilio Buendia comes on for Philippe Coutinho. Just under 15 minutes left, and Wolves are looking like they will see this one out. So, yeah, it looks like Wolves are going to get the points today and move down to the Amex Stadium now. Solly March cuts in from the left but drives straight at Tim Krul. It's not happening for Brighton. Time is running out as we're approaching the last 10 minutes. Brighton have had a trouble finishing their dinner nearly all season, really, though, haven't they? I mean, it's no surprise to me, and I think Norwich could win this game if they put the foot on the gas and, if they get a chance, they need to win this game. They really do. It's there for the taking for them. It really is. Well, that's my opinion anyway. You guys might disagree with me, but that's what I think. And there's been a bit of drama here. at Burnley. This would have been lovely. Raheem Sterling drives with it, lays it off to Bernardo Silva on the right, and he pings it over to Gabriel Jesus. He volleys it off the post, manages to react to trap the rebound, but stabs that over the bar. So there you go. Man City nearly scored another one, and here he is, the man of BS, Martin Keown. Wolves haven't had enough credit. I don't think Wolves have had enough credit this season. It doesn't matter who it is in the back three. They know that system really well, and they're hard to play against. Tactically, Villa are just getting done too many times. I wonder who that reminds me of, being well organised at the back, Martin. I wonder. And substitution. Ashley Barnes is out. He's on for Weghorst. So Burnley changing things up in that game. So just over 10 minutes to go. Just done 10 minutes and under to go now in all the afternoon's 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. Tony says, I've got to go now, Warren. Great show. It was great to catch up. Hope it won't be too long. Take care for now. And you, buddy, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourself. Love to the family. Say hello to Laughing Boy for me. I hope he's all right. Tell him I miss him as well. I miss listening to all his nonsense and his delusion. Tony says, take care, everyone. James Dunlop says, see you, Tony. May the best side win tomorrow. 100%. And Craig Malloy, Will Smith gave Chris Rock a free hit. He certainly did, mate. He certainly did give him a free hit. Slap! Well, it's more like slap, wasn't it? It was hilarious. That was just mad. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before, ever. I mean, obviously I've seen people smacking each other, but I've never seen it like two celebrities going at it like that. It was crazy. Dion Dublin, talking about the Brentford-Chelsea game, says Brentford haven't feared Chelsea at all. They've respected them, but they haven't feared them. Look at what you can get when you do that. It's a brilliant performance, he says. There you go. See, the big man has spoken. City want a third before full time. Raheem Sterling cuts inside from the right and his shot is blocked. Gabriel Jesus fizzes a rebound dangerously past the post. The third won't come for Wolves as Fabio Silva's curling effort is tipped over by Emi Martinez. So here we go. Let's have a look at the league table. Man City are currently, as it stands at the moment, 1 point clear of Liverpool at the top of the table. They both played 30 games, but Liverpool have got a 5-goal better goal difference. Chelsea are in third. They played 29 games and have 59 points. Arsenal are in fourth with having played 28. And they have 54 points. And They've got a game in hand. If they win that game, they'll be just 2 points behind Chelsea, and they have to play each other at Stamford Bridge. And this is what I was saying earlier. If you look at it, right, if Arsenal won those games that I mentioned, that I listed earlier, that would be another 11 points. They'd be on 65 points. They would be clear in third. And it would have happened then if we'd had a decent manager. And there's been a goal. There's been another goal. So it's time for Guy Fawkes to do his thing. So there has been a goal. Let's go and find out where it's happened. And it's just, my word, Brentford are really going to town. It's Chelsea 1, Brentford 4 now. Oh my God. Chelsea 1, Brentford 4. What the hell has happened at Stamford Bridge? And Visser has scored in the 87th minute to put Brentford 4-1 up now. Chelsea 1, Brentford 4. Johan Visser of Brentford has a right-footed shot from the centre of the box to the bottom left corner following the set piece situation. So there you go. Brentford now 4-1 up at Chelsea. My God, who would have believed it? It's unreal. So Brentford running riot there at Stamford Bridge. And there's been another goal. There's been another goal, and this one has come at Molineux, and it's Wolves 2, Aston Villa 1 now. Ollie Watkins has pulled one back for Aston Villa from the penalty spot, set up a grandstand finish there at Molineux, and it's it's Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Aston Villa 1. So let's go and check that out and see what happened. See what happened with that one, how that penalty came about. Right, so a penalty was conceded by Jose Sarr after a foul in the penalty area. And he made a foul on Ollie Watkins, and Ollie Watkins converts the penalty with a right-footed shot to the bottom right-hand corner, and that reduces the deficit. So it's now Wolves 2, Aston Villa 1. So there we go, and it's coming into the closing minutes of the games. 4 minutes to go now at the Amex Stadium. It's Brighton 0, Norwich City 1. 1 minute to go at Turf Moor, and it's Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. And the second minute of added time at Stamford Bridge, and it's Chelsea 1, Brentford 4. And at Ellen Road in the second minute of added on time, it's Leeds United 1, Southampton 1. And 3 minutes to go at Molineux, and it's currently Wolves 2, Aston Villa 1. So there you go, folks. It's as always, there's drama from minute 1 to minute 90 plus however many other minutes there are. That's the story of the day. Brentford's display at Chelsea certainly is, mate. 100%, James. Craig Malloy. Brentford beating Chelsea 4-1. Let me say, right, I can guarantee you this. That ain't happening when Arsenal go to Stamford Bridge. It ain't. We ain't going there putting 4 past them. And only conceded 1. James Dunlop says 4-1. What the hell is going on? Wow. And then James Dunlop says, fair play to Brentford. What an amazing performance. Absolutely, mate. 100%. And James Dunlop says, Villa have one back. Watkins penalty. Absolutely. And James Dunlop, as Cammy would say, unbelievable, Jeff. Yeah, so here we go. This is one especially for you, James. Unbelievable, James. What a story at Stamford Bridge. Jez Collins. Hi, Jez. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Afternoon, Warren, and all in the chat. What an amazing afternoon at Stamford Bridge, Jez. Brentford won. Chelsea won. Brentford 4. I'll tell you what, I bet we don't do that. We go down there. James Dunlop says, afternoon, Jez. Hope you're well. Craig Malloy. Afternoon, Greg. Yeah. Jez, great show last night. Yeah, man, it was absolutely wild. I absolutely loved it. You know, I was buzzing for at least an hour after that show. It was my favourite ever stream that I've been involved with, both on my channel and anyone else. I absolutely loved it. James Dunlop, hi mate, all good. I hope you are okay. Jess says, Craig Malloy, hi mate. Yes, it was a fun show last night. It was superb. I loved every minute of it. James Dunlop says, I'm good, thanks, Jess, apart from Everton, but that's normal, laugh out loud. Yeah, man, honestly, it's absolutely shocking. It's shocking. Right, so let's get back here. See, and it's finished at Turf Moor. It's Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. So Manchester City go back to the top of the Premier League. Great afternoon for City. They reclaimed their spot at the top of the table. At the Amex Arena is still Brighton 0, Norwich City 0. 2 minutes of added on time there. And it's finished at Ellen Road. It's Leeds United 1, Southampton 1, and still playing at Stamford Bridge. There's been 5 minutes of added on time. It's Chelsea 1, Brentford 4, and 2 minutes of added on time at Molineux, and it's Wolves 2, Aston Villa 1. So just a few minutes left to go now, folks. So let's go back here. Jez says, amazing performance from Brentford. Arsenal won't do that, sadly. No, you're 100% right, mate. It ain't happening. I can guarantee it. It ain't happening. We are not going to Stamford Bridge and winning 4-1. We ain't. It's just not going to happen. James Dunlop says City win 2-0. Yep. And Leeds 1, Southampton 1, full time. Do you think that's good results for you, James? Leeds drawing 1-1 with Southampton. What do you think about that? Full time at Chelsea. Well done, Brentford. Yeah, man, it's unbelievable. And let's go and look at the games that finished. So It finished Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. De Bruyne in the 5th minute and Gundogan in the 25th minute scored the 2 goals for Manchester City. It finished Chelsea 1, Brentford 4. Rudiger gave Chelsea the lead in the 48th minute, and then after that, Brentford just took over basically. 2 minutes later, it was 1-1 through Janelt in the 15th minute. Then Ericsson added got a second one for Brentford in the 54th minute. Janelt added a third in the 60th minute, and then Wissa rounded off the scoring for Brentford when he made it Brentford 4, Chelsea 1. Fantastic afternoon for Brentford, and their fans have been loving life, that's for sure, in the big West London derby. And then at Ellen Road, Jack Harrison scored again for Leeds to give Leeds a 1-0 lead in the 29th minute, and then Southampton equalised through James Ward-Prowse in the 49th minute, and it ended Leeds United 1, Southampton 1. And the other 2 games are still going on. It's Brighton 0, Norwich City 0, and they both finished. But it's finished Brighton 0, Norwich City 0. And it finished Wolves 2, Aston Villa 1. Wolves went into a 2-goal lead. Castro Otto getting the first one in the 7th minute. And then in the 36th minute, Ashley Young scored an own goal. And then late on, Ollie Watkins gave Villa a bit of hope with 2 minutes to go. Is it 2 minutes? The 86th minute with a penalty, but they couldn't get an equaliser. So in the big West Midlands derby, it finished Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Aston Villa 1. So James Dunlop says, my main concern is the teams below us. Leeds will be fine, I think. Wolves win 2-1 full time. Absolutely, mate. Right. So let's go and have a look at the Premier League table and see what these results mean for that. So there you go. As I said, Man City have regained the league at the top of the Premier League. Wolves are up to 7th on 49 points. West Ham do have a game in hand on them though, with being 1 point behind. And Burnley are rooted in 19th place on 21 points. Then Norwich are 3 points behind them, having played 2 games more. And Watford the 3rd bottom currently, Everton the 4th bottom. So yeah, that's the Premier League table, folks. So that's it, guys. Cheers, Warren. Great stream. See you soon, mate. See you all soon, guys. Take care. Yeah, thanks very much for coming in, James. I just want to thank everyone who's watched today. Thank you very much to James Dunlop. Thank you to Jez for coming in and joining in the chat. I hope you enjoyed it, mate. Also, big thanks to Craig for your jokes and your comments, as always. Absolutely superb stuff, mate. Big up to Tony Blackwell and Joanne. You're an absolute legend. You really are. And I hope that Wanderer returns soon. Static says, Oh yeah, Static. Thank you, mate. I hope you enjoyed it. Who else was there? Dan Evans. I hope you're all right, mate. I hope you're not too upset with County losing in the trophy semi-final. Who else have we had? I think that's about it, actually. Oh, yeah, and why not Sentiment FC? Thank you very much, mate. Del Boy Gunner as well. I hope the new dog is settling in all right. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to everyone who's going to be watching this on playback. And tell me what you thought about today's games, especially the game at Stamford Bridge where Chelsea lost by 4-1 in the big West London derby against Brentford. Tell me also what you think about the games tomorrow and also the game on Monday between Palace and Arsenal. Big game for both clubs, really. I'm sure that Patrick Vieira will be absolutely pumped for that one. And let's hope that the Gunners can pull a win out of the bag and do the business. And yeah, thanks, like I say, everyone for watching. Don't forget to put a like on the video for me, please. Don't forget as well to share the content around. And please, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. And please enjoy the rest of your day. And remember to keep talking to each other. And please share some love and kindness around the world. Take care, everyone. Thanks ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I really enjoyed the show, as always. Thanks very much. And I look forward to seeing you all again really, really soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. See you later. Bye for now.